Supriya ma'am. Welcome to this interview. She is a founder of Flourish Factor and a marketing consultant with over 20 years of experience. So, ma'am, let's directly dive into the questions. So, you've been working with companies of different sizes, different industries, be it corporate, SMEs, or MSMEs, in various industries like tech, consultancy, sustainability, fashion, etc. And you work for B2B, B2C, D2C, and all. So, when it comes to MSMEs, what has proved to be useful for them?
Okay. See, MSMEs have a common trait. They have multiple common traits, of course. We can say that they are hungry for growth, they are ambitious, and at the same time, they are resource constrained, right? But still, when it comes to digital marketing or any marketing solutions for MSMEs, we cannot bundle them as one because what works for B2B does not work for a B2C or a D2C company. So it will be better if we look at individually uh, how how different segments work. Even within same segment, two competitors in the same category, we cannot have the same digital marketing mix for them because of their different digital maturity, because of the different culture, because of the different positioning that they have. Uh, I'll give you an example. So what has worked, for example, we have a client who's in consulting space. Uh, we heavily lean on LinkedIn for their brand awareness and visibility,
Okay.
and works very well for them because whatever other marketing efforts that they're doing, they get a very good, credible image in the market because of their LinkedIn presence. Then we have let's say, a legal and a compliance firm that we work with. So for them, we take a mix of search and social and lead generation campaigns and thought leadership. Uh, so similarly, like there's a D2C food brand that we work with where we leaned heavily on Instagram, Facebook for their brand building, organic brand building with a lot of influencers, collabs, create engaging content, and their complete robust online sales campaign using Google and Meta. So, yes, today I know we are talking about MSMEs, but really there is no one playbook for all of MSMEs, and I think that's what we can discuss going forward.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, carrying forward, so can you share how you are approaching growth for your B2B clients versus your D2C clients, especially in today's digital backdrop where AI search, social discovery, and the buyer's behavior is shifting constantly?
Yeah. So we have extensive experience in B2B space also. One thing that I'll say is B2B sales cycles are very long. Okay. And if it's a complex solution, let's say software or tech solution or something, then usually 6 to 8 decision makers are involved at different level in the organization across different departments. Also, sometimes it could be an IT department, it could be a sales department and a marketing department, and people from different levels of hierarchy.
Yeah.
So decision making is very complex, and when you are trying to run any campaign or offer or plan any solutions, you cannot do that keeping just one TG in mind. Um, and now with Gen Z in the workforce, uh, although lower in the hierarchy mostly, but they do influence because your search, who is searching you basically, first of all, right? They are quietly searching for their vendors or their solution providers. They are quietly doing their research in the background. They are having their internal meetings. They are discussing about possible solution providers, and you will never know about it because most of the research, I'll say around 80 to 90% of the research happens before they actually contact any company.
That's a shocking number.
Yeah. So in this with this backdrop, what B2B companies have to do with this kind of long complex decision making is that they need to balance between discoverability, building credibility and trust, and lead generation, right? And as a result, B2B solutions that we offer, for example, usually end up having a good, healthy digital mix of search optimizations, the website optimization, because when somebody reaches your website either from search or from social or any other channel, it could be emails, is your website ready to give that kind of trust and that kind of aid in decision making that yes, okay, shortlist us, yeah, or fill the form, turn into a lead. So is your website optimized for that? Then when they're ready, so they're also going through your social profiles, the company profiles. What kind of trust are you building in them? What kind of culture? So there's a lot of parameters that really play and come into the picture when it comes to B2B marketing in digital. We move to D2C or B2C, it's very difficult. We have a shorter sales cycle, more impulsive buying. Think about it. How did you buy your last pair of maybe cream or last pair of shoes or cream or it's very quick, but and people need quick proof also. So it works in a very different way, very social influenced
Yes.
category, right? So there the approach is very different. So if you see how the whole backdrop changes, your strategy will change. So that's
It's different for every company, for every type.
yes, but majorly and especially, let's say, when it comes to organic and paid, right? If you're running paid campaigns, let's say for B2B, then we need to give at least 3 months to be able to determine how the results are, whether
The time
or
frame.
they say that you are getting the right results, right? You need to give that much of time. In D2C or B2C campaigns, couple of weeks are enough to at least start seeing something, right? Some movement. You'll understand things are working, not working. That's a big difference because the decision making is very fast in D2C and B2C.
So moving forward, so despite all of these differences, there has to be something universal for all of these MSMEs.
Yes. I think the first thing I'll say is very strong positioning, sharp positioning. Applies to every company, every brand, even personal brands. But since we're talking about MSMEs, see, every category, every segment is you start a new business or you are operating in any segment, you will find competitors, right?
Definitely.
So what differentiates your company from my company, right? What's so special about you and how do you differ? That all gets defined when you have clear positioning, right? That really helps the digital marketing team because when we sit down and we plan content, when we are trying to plan messaging for campaigns, for search, for social content, this clarity really helps the content team. Next, I'll say is like small enterprises, small businesses, they tend to expect too much from digital marketing too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas this is an iterative process. Uh, there will be testing, there will be learning, there will be some acceleration, there will be new learnings. It's an iterative process. It will never end.
Yeah.
And you have to wait for some time until you see the results. And how much do you have to wait really depends on the channel and everything, right? But you have to be patient and be consistent. Whatever you're doing, just keep doing and focus on if you decide that we have to focus on these two channels or one channel, then go all out on it, right? For example, if you have a fashion brand, let's say you have a small scale, uh, you sell, let's say, linen wear,
Right.
you're a very small setup. If you decide that we have to hit Instagram, then hit it hard. If it requires influencers, then go for it. If it requires collabs, go for it, right? Because your target audience is there. So be consistent and put your all effort in that channel properly. If you try to dab into different channels and spread your budget thin, it will not help. Because then you will not do justice to any channel in the first place,
Yes.
right? And nothing comes easy. Even in life, you don't get anything easy. So why do we expect that our marketing results, we'll see easy results? And also, when I say don't spread your efforts too thin, I'll also say the same thing, not just with respect to channels, but with respect to uh, promoting your service. Let's say you have 5 verticals in your company and you try to promote all of them with that limited budget. What are you doing then?
Yeah.
Right? You are not focused. You are trying to get a share in everything. At least build some depth in one vertical or selective 2 verticals. Maybe look at low hanging fruit. Then start building your cluster around it. Start including other verticals. It could be verticals, it could be products, it could be services, but I hope you get the gist.
Yes.
Right? So don't spread your budget thin. And lastly, I'll say that content is the fuel, right? It is common, not just for SMEs, but for everyone.
What role of founders do you see in MSME's digital marketing?
See, when it comes to MSMEs, founders can really, the founder's voice on digital can really be a very effective marketing push and a very powerful distribution channel, right? Because when founders talk, it brings authenticity, it builds trust, it humanizes the brand, it attracts more partnerships and collaborations, which is important, by the way, to grow your brand, right? In any segment, at any level, not just SMEs. So, founders' voice is very important because buyers trust people more than logos.
Yeah.
But they have to talk about the vision. They have to talk about the what perspective they have. They can talk about industry trends. They can talk about whatever makes sense for the brand, right? In very interesting ways. There's no they don't have to go out in a very boring way, but it's important that they put themselves out. And if they are not comfortable, which many founders are not, they can always start making small starts. We work with like I said, few MSMEs also, smaller companies, and when founders are not comfortable, we try to create very small opportunities for them so that they start getting comfortable. That is one part. The other important role I think that founders play in digital marketing for MSMEs is that they act as a bridge between their digital team and their business. See, we are content creators, right? We are marketers. We want to create genuine content for you. But if you don't fill us in with your vision, your positioning, right? You don't connect us to your sales team. How do I know what kind of questions your prospects are asking? If you do not connect us with your service team, how do I know what kind of challenges your existing customers are facing? What are their pain points? If you do not connect me with your founders, also as in co-founders, let's say, if you do not connect me with your senior leadership, how will I know how are they planning to take the vision forward? So as content creators, which is an important part of a digital team, right? As content creators, whether that team is in-house or it's in outsourcing, it does not matter. But the role of founder in MSME is very crucial that they bridge that gap. Because as I said earlier, content is the fuel or the soul of your digital marketing campaigns. Authentic content really stands out, right? Content that connects very well with the target audience will stand out for sure. Over a period of time,
ad costs are rising across various platforms, and MSMEs definitely feel the pinch. So, organic visibility is shrinking on platforms. So, what can be done in such a scenario?
Minded. But that does not mean that if you need paid ads, you stop running them. You should continue running them, but you can get smarter. In the buyer journey, the customer or the potential customer is closer to considering you or making a decision of purchasing you. So have more content around that phase of the journey, or you can plan more retargeting campaigns to target audience which is already warm. Okay, add the mix, add your founder's voice to the content mix. It really helps even for paid campaigns, right? So there are thought leadership campaigns that can be run, that can be done. So basically, there are ways of getting around. You can just get smarter with what kind of ads you want to run. You don't necessarily have to run discovery campaigns and reduce your spendings on discovery campaigns, and you can shift your focus more towards middle of the funnel or bottom of the funnel content promotion or campaign promotions. So those are some of the ways in which you can deal with it. And amp up your organic part. Like I said, have the founder's voice or start planning content which builds more credibility and trust. So the conversions become easier.
Yeah.
And when the conversions become better, easier, that means your ROI on your paid campaigns is improving. Right. So that's where organic comes. So many people say that organic is dead. I personally believe organic is not dead. Organic and performance, they always work together.
Just using it in the right way.
You use it in the right way. Don't rely on organic completely for lead generation, because as we know that the algorithms are not really giving you the kind of reach organically. But you use organic content to build credibility, to embed trust in the content, because that improves your conversion rate.
Okay, so lovely. Moving forward, what does it take to actually make MSME successful?
Okay, so at Flourish Factor, we strongly believe that, you know, when you bring the vision, the positioning, uh, your creative strategy, your position, your all your elements together, right? And you unify those, and then you plan your campaigns, you will get better results. So we believe in unify to amplify approach. Right. So you unify, you synergize the efforts. For example, if you are investing in search and social and you have a website, right? Unify the messaging, bring everything in sync, right? Understand how the like as per the buyer journey, when someone hits your website, where will they navigate, how will they navigate, what messaging you're giving them, plan end to end, considering all the channels you are investing in, right? Have a clarity on that. So when you unify all these elements, and then you run campaigns, whether it's an organic campaign, it's a paid campaign, it does not matter. You will definitely start seeing the impact over a period of time.
The results will show, definitely.
And the bottom line is that, yes, again, everything links back to what clarity you have. As a digital team, what clarity you have about the positioning of your client. As a founder, what clarity you have that you can give to your digital team, right? And how often. It's not that if I meet you, you're the founder, and meet you and you tell me that this is my positioning, that's not the end of it. There has to be a continuous engagement and dialogue, and that positioning has to be reinstated in your conversations over a period of time so that it starts translating into content.
That's lovely. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.